welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie. This is my very first actual video. I haven't done one in a long time. The last time I did a YouTube video was like 2012. Ideas, like I said. So today my first video is gonna be about LDR. Like 3 points that I want to get to. I got some notes here so I don't venture too far off into the abyss. If you guys have any questions or concerns or whatever is in your head, please leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get the video started. Okay, so the first point that I want to get to is dealing with the LDR. It's not so much dealing with it as much as it is a sacrifice, and it's also about trust. You really have to just trust that person, and you have to go into it knowing that no matter what happens and no matter how far you guys are, it's gonna work. You can't force it to work. It's different if it's working and it's just, you know, little stuff that's causing things to seem like it's not working, or if it's really not working.
There's a big difference. Trust me, there's a big difference.
I'm not too sure how a permanent long distance relationship works. Like if the person leaves and they're not planning to return, I don't know if that is a thing to do. I necessarily would not do that. I would either have to go be with him or he'd have to go be with me. Communication is the only thing you guys have. It's not like you can turn over in the bed and be like,
I miss you.
Stuff like, no. It's all via Snapchat or Instagram or video chat or on the phone. Like, you won't get to see this person, and you have to realize that. You won't be able to just reach out and touch them and everything will be okay. Eventually, yeah, everything will be okay, but you can't just reach out and touch them. They won't be there. But in the long run, it's all worth it, you know? As long as you guys have the same goals, you have to have the same goals. I wouldn't necessarily hop into a long distance relationship out of nowhere. I agree that you would have to at least know them longer than the amount that they're going to be away from you. Like if they're going to Hawaii for like 6 months and you've only known them for like 2 months, I doubt the relationship will work, but it might. You never really know. Every two people are different. The longer we hold off, the more intense it is. You get to see that person. Finally, you're like, oh my God, and then everything's like 20 times better. Like, everything is better. I'm not saying long distance relationship is for everybody. It's not. It's really not. It's so much deeper than the distance. It's so much deeper than that. You really have to realize who that person is and just trust that person. There are some pros and cons, like when you get to finally see that person, like picking that person up from the airport, it's just like, it's just amazing. It's emotional. The cons is sometimes late at night, they're not there. If you're going through a situation with your family, like, yeah, you can call them. If they're really busy and you can't just pick up the phone and call them, like, it's gonna be tough. So it's really hard not being able to just be there with that person, you know? I think the one thing that people don't really focus on in relationships nowadays is the communication part and the understanding that person and just relating to that person. It all matters, but in a long distance relationship, communication matters the most. It's hard to just have at least 10 minutes to ourselves on the phone. All right, babe, I gotta go do this.
Don't leave me, please, don't leave me.
Let's talk about behind closed doors. It is sweet, but at the same time, you guys will argue. Arguing is a big factor in a relationship in general. Like, you will argue about the dumbest things in long distance relationship, like stupid things, and you don't really realize it because of the stress that is upon you and your significant other, because you don't know what they're going through throughout their day. Sometimes they might not even want to talk about it. Sometimes you're going through something that's stressing you out, and then he does something to like tick you off, or she does something to tick you off, and it's just like, breathe and just remember, they didn't do anything to me. I'm in this situation because of me. I feel like arguing with somebody, you get to know how they argue, how their mind works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to dig in deep and open them up and be like, oh, what is? The environment can also affect the person, you know, if they're like living in the middle of nowhere. That can affect them too, you know. A long distance relationship is something that you really have to talk to your partner about. Like, hey babe, is this something that we can do? Like, it's easy now because we're here face to face, but once we're not face to face, what do we have? You have to keep them close, and you have to be honest with them. Let them know how you're feeling throughout the whole relationship. A lot of people in relationships don't know how to express, and even if it's just a little bit every single time, you're gonna get to the point where it's like, baby, you don't even have to explain. Remember the things that matter, even when the arguments are very deep and you kind of want to reconsider your consideration. Please do it, because that person is worth it, whether you think so or not. Unless you have other ish going on, that person's worth it, and so are you, because they want to love you just as much as you want to love them. So remember that, keep that in mind, and I will see you guys in my next video. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, guys.